I told this story because nobody wants to be lectured to, okay? And I go by the great example of Jesus. He did parables.
Mm-hmm.
And so you actually go along the journey with Lila. And what I find people that read the book is that they actually find themselves in her. And they see the different struggles. Whatever you felt growing up, you see yourself in that. And that's what you pull out of the book.
Mm. And obviously Defying Fear is not a once and for all antidote. You recognize that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's something, recognizing that we're called to resist the devil and he will flee. So it's something that we really have to make that conscious decision on a consistent basis, that we're going to either walk in faith or we're going to succumb to fear.
Right, exactly. So the opposite of fear is faith.
Yeah.
And so defying fear, choosing to walk in faith. And that's what, I had to do, and that's what I learned with my life. And I have to do that now. I still have fear and anxiety. And I think we don't talk about that enough, but I think it's coming out more, and that's part of my book, to let the truth come out that, it looks all great. Look, she wrote a book. Everything's great. There's nothing wrong. She doesn't ever have stress or fear.
Yeah.
I do, and I have to fight that, and I pray, and God helps me through that.
So tell me about a relatively recent change in your own life. And you've talked to us about the athletic pursuits that you've had and being involved in participating in triathlons. You have been a licensed chiropractic physician for quite some time, until how long ago?
Almost 30 years licensed chiropractor. And till about a year ago, I retired as a chiropractor. I wanted to focus on my book and speaking. I felt God tell me that. Actually, he told me in 2004 that I would write a book and I would speak and wear leather pants. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Okay.
So
how's the wardrobe
So
coming?
I did buy leather pants 19 years ago. Anyway, so I'm ready to do that. And God's prepared me for it. I was upset that I hadn't written my book, but my story hadn't even been told what he wanted me to write. So I encourage you, too, if you think that you're supposed to do something, well, you probably are, but it may not be the time. So, hang on there and do that. And I look forward to it. I'm happy with my life now, but God wants me to speak and share and love people and help them to find their value. And that's what I'm called to do, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you've made, what you've detailed for us today, you have actually made two major changes that you've told us about today. One is to really begin to compete in triathlon. So we got that. We've also got a career decision that you have made. And so take us through that decision-making process, because people may be thinking about change. Maybe they don't recognize that the desire they have to change is actually a desire from God. Of course, they got to get that straight. They got to really pray through and determine whether or not God is calling them to do something. But then once they have made that decision, there certainly has to be an element of fear, the fear of something new, of doing something different.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing is that, first of all, God will never contradict his word in anything he has you do. So that's one thing you can really make sure with it. Another thing is pray about it. And then also, too, you'll have confirmations. If you hear the same thing from 3 different people and it's the same story of doing something, then that's probably a sign of God speaking to you. And also, the doors will open. I know as far as my book, the whole opportunity with that, the doors open as far as who to speak to and what to do on that when the time comes, and really being patient and leaning on God and trusting him. And even though you may think this isn't going to work, it's not going to happen, God uses all that. He uses our weaknesses to be it, because it's God doing it, and it's not me. So I know through my weaknesses, that's where he is, his witness, his example is shown through.